So today we will discuss about Git, and we discussed in yesterday class that why we use Git. There can be many advantages. In older times, when developers are working on some projects, they used to develop some code. They share the code with each other with some instructions that I have changed this, I have changed this. There is a team which is doing the quality testing. So they get the code, they do the testing, and the environment was very restricted. I mean, you cannot be sitting very far away, or there can be some confusions going on that what is done, what is not done, what's updated. So now for that, there is a concept of GitHub. You can have many developers working on a project at the same time, and everyone is working on the same project, pulling the code, pushing the code, and then the best advantage is that we have version control here. Whenever there is an update, the previous version remains there and we update with the new version. So we can have even 1,000 versions and we can go back to previous version. We can, so if someone is pushing the code from, let's say again, California, someone can pull the code in New York, and so many things can be done. So what is GitHub? Let's explore first how GitHub works. So first of all, we create our repository. I have created my repository class. So just first add a new repository. I can name my repository anything, like my project. So my project is available. I have already created my account on GitHub and I am logged in with that account. So I can give the description. This is my class project. And either I can make it public so that anybody can pull it or push it, or I can make it private, but let's go with the public. So whenever my project is initialized, I can add a README file. I can add a license, journal, public license, or anything like that, but I'm not doing it. And this will set main as the default branch. So we will discuss what branches are. And let's say I create a repository. So this repository is my workplace, and I have a README file available. And in my README file, I have written this is my project and this is my class project. So this is just the description. So let's say this is my workspace in which I will be doing some code upload. Someone can be downloading this code. And we have many other platforms available, like I can have GitHub, I can have GitLab. Okay, let's log into GitLab also. So there are many solutions out there. The most famous is GitLab and GitHub. Okay. I don't know why my password is rejected. So anyways, I have account on both the platforms. So this is my project, and I can upload and download the code from here. And we have, I am in the default branch, but I can create another branch like Zishan BR. So I can create Zishan BR. And this branch, I am now in Zishan BR, and it will clone, or it will take a copy of the my project. You can see the content are the same, and I can work on this branch. I can do the testing here, and if there is some issue, I can fix it. If I don't want to merge this my project with my main branch, I can continue testing it. When I am done, I can merge this branch, or there can be any number of branches, and you can merge it back to the main or master branch. So that's how it makes it so easy that you can work on the same project. You can work on different versions, and if the issue or if there is new development, you can test it and you can merge it onto the main branch, and your quality testing team can download from the main branch, or they can download this development branch, test it, and if the testing is successful, you can just merge it with the main branch, and the production servers, you can pull that code on the production servers. So there can be any number of teams working on the same project, and this the cycle is a lot improved as everyone working on the separate branch on the same project. So let's first go to the shell, how Git works. So this the Git yam install -y git. Git is a package which manages your tracks your changes. It works with GitHub. So Git is an application, and GitHub is a repository or repository manager or online storage where we work with our projects. So Git is the application, and GitHub is the workspace. It's the service provided by GitHub. So let's download our Git. So I have Git already installed. Let's check the version. Okay, I have Git version 1.8.3.1 available. I did some configuration while testing. So I have git config --list. So I have already provided my username Zishan and my email address. How we configure this setting? I do git config --global username, my username, and my email as git config global, my username and user email. That's it. I am just providing that I'm using this username and this email address. Let's see what we can do with the Git. I have a website var www.html. Let's first remove whatever is there. So I have abc.txt. I have my first branch.txt available. I have my index page available. I have index.php available. And let's remove this old README file. So let's say this is our project. What I want to do is I have this repository already created for us. In this class, I have two branches, main and master. And on that master branch, we have all this code available because I pushed 8 hours ago when I was doing some testing. I did some version control. This is version 1, version 1.1. I said I added a file. So I was kind of working on this stuff. So let's say if someone has already pushed the code to the Git, and what I can do is, this is my new directory. I have nothing available. The developer has uploaded the code on a GitHub. And what I can do is, I can clone that repository. And how I do that? So that's how you can copy the code through HTTPS. This is the link for HTTPS, and this is the link for SSH. If I want to connect through SSH, I will use this link. If I want to go through HTTPS, I will use this link. The advantage of HTTPS is you can provide the username and password and in the URL, and you can clone this repository or download this repository. The advantage of SSH is it's more secure. It works with the public-private key, and you don't need to provide any password. But to set your SSH keys, we know about the public and private key, right? So we will go into the settings, and we have SSH and GPG keys. So I have few keys already available here, which is the public keys of my node 1, node 2, node 3, and my ansible master key. So if I want to add new key, I can name it anything. And when we generated the key pair, RSA key pair, we had a public key with the .pub. If you want, I can show you. Otherwise, I can continue.
I remember.
Okay, fine. So
Okay.
that's, yeah, sorry.
I'm good. I remember too.
Okay, then fine. So I have added few keys, my ansible master key. So I am good with SSH. So I can push the code through SSH. So let's see what's SSH. I can copy this. So either you use username password or you use. So first command I'm going to use is git clone. And I have copied the URL. And I will say whatever is there, copy it on this directory. Dot means copy it in where I am standing. And I am already standing in HTML. And we know there is nothing there. So if I did this, something is done. Let's see ls. Okay, readme is there. And why readme is there? Because by default, my default branch is main. And I have copied it in this master branch. So in master branch, I have this contact. In main branch, which is the default branch, I have this code. This is my commit. So what I want to do is I want to pull the content of master branch. So what I can do is I can rm the first. What I should do is I can clone again the same command, but I can tell that minus.
I don't think you're sharing your screen.
Oh, sorry. Okay, what I can do is I am using the same command which I used above, git clone, and I am telling just copy the master branch, clone the master branch. It's not an empty directory. Okay, so now I am cloning the master branch. So if I hit ls, the content of our master branch is downloaded with ls-ali with a git folder created in my current working directory. What's in git folder? There is some information. It is tracking the branches. It has some configurations. I usually don't go in .git file because it is already hidden. And but there are some configuration files in it which right now we don't need to edit. So this is our branch. This is our application code which is now downloaded in our HTML, and we can run our website by just configuring the Apache server. Let's say,
Vishal, quick question. You got an error earlier, right? What did you do to fix that error?
Actually, I initialized the repository, so I deleted that repository .git.
Okay, but .git is a hidden file. How would we know to remove it?
If I do ls, wait a minute. If I do
Just go up
-ali, this git folder is there. What you can do is rm-rf .git, it's gone.
Okay.
Okay. Because I cloned the
whole
main branch, and the main branch had nothing in it, just the readme file. So I deleted it and cloned another branch. So first, let's see. I have this code available, and what else I have available is if I do git branch -a. So on this local computer, by default, our master branch is created, and I can push and pull the code into the master branch. And it tells me that there is another branch main available. So I will be working with the master branch. What I can do is I can create another branch. Let's say I can, okay, I'll do it later. I think we should start with the basic commands. Let's say this is my code. I have downloaded it. I've now assumed that I am the developer, and I have index.php file. There is nothing inside it. I have just created a file. So what I will do is I will insert my PHP code is updated. So we all know that our index file is changed, right? Now, if I do git status, it has said this file is modified, index.php, but no changes added to commit. I mean, we have done some modification in our local file. We can do so much modification. I mean, we can work on a whole day on our project, and then we can add these files to be uploaded to the GitHub or GitLab. So it is telling me all the changes. That's why that folder is created .git. It tracks what you are doing. So what I can do is So I know I have changed my index.php file. Now what I want to do is I want to upload it to my GitHub so that anyone else can download the new version. So let's say I can do git add. If I want to add everything, I will put a dollar sign, or what I can do is I can just name add the index.php file. So let's go with the dot. And if I do hit status again, so now that warning message, which was no changes added to commit, now that message has gone because I have added the files, and now we are ready to commit this. Commit means I'm ready to push this code to the GitHub. So I have added the file, and what I can do is git commit -m. We are providing the version. Now this is version 1.3, or I can add any comment. So one file change, one insertion happened. Now, if I see git remote -v, I have this origin already there. GitHub, this is the same URL from which we have cloned our repository. Okay, what I can do is git remote remove ORIGIN. If I do the above command, our remote repository is gone. Like, I have to add the origin on which branch, on which repository I am working on. So I have already added this repository, so I deleted it so that I can add it again. Let's see what was the name of our repository. I used it, this one. So now I can add git remote add ORIGIN. That's it. So this is my remote repository. I am adding it to my git configuration. If I do now git remote -v, so my workspace repository URL is here. I can push and pull the code through this. And how we checked it, we know to copy a code, you can do SSH or I can do HTTPS. So I am preferring SSH because if I do the HTTPS, my password will be visible to you guys. So, okay. So my repository is added, and I have committed the change. Now what I can do is git push -u. This is the syntax. You will with practice you will remember it. ORIGIN origin master. So if I push it, let's go to the browser again. And if I hit the refresh button here, so we change our index.php file, right? It is saying the index.php has a version tag 1.3. It is updated 3 minutes ago. And if you want to see the content of index.php, you see my PHP code is updated. So that was the comment. I have implemented it on my local machine, and I have uploaded it to the Git server. Let's say there is another thing. Let's say I can touch .git ignore. So this is a file, git ignore. Let's say I am working on a project, and maybe I don't want to upload some file. Maybe I don't want to upload some folder. Maybe I have taken some compression and I have zipped something. So I obviously don't want to upload that. So let's say I can
We're not able to see your screen.
Oh, come on.
You cannot see your screen, yes.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I have created a file touch git ignore in my code. Okay, now I can do ls minus al. So this git ignore file is there, right? Touch xyz.txt gzip xyz.txt. So let's see git add dot. Okay, git status. So new file is git ignore, but it is not taking the gz file because in my git ignore I have said ignore the gz extension. If I remove this gz extension in git ignore, then this will add this file when I will press git add dot. Dot means everything. So what were you asking?
No, that's what I was asking. So any file that will go in the ignore me file won't be pushed.
That won't be committed, that won't be pushed. Yes, correct. So because if I do git add, I have worked on the project the whole day. Maybe I have modified tens of files, so I cannot add one by one. So there can be exception that I have taken a backup, or let's say this file is not required, so you can ignore 2 or 3 files. But there can be hundreds of files which you are working on. So we always do git add everything, and as git is tracking the changes, so it will only add the files which you have modified. So now this git repository is available, and git add dot git commit minus m adding dot ignore file. So that's it, and I can do the push command. Come on, where's that? So that one file is pushed, which is git ignore. So let's go to the browser again, and if I hit so dot git ignore is there, and static gz is commented out, and that gz file is not here. So that's how we can ignore the stuff. Now I have two options. I can create another branch. Let's say, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So you see this gz is .git file is there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what I can do is I can say branch branch 1. So I am creating the branch 1 now. And if you see, I am in the branch 1 and I have the same code available. So what I can do is I can go to the shell again. I can have another folder, cd.ls cdabc.com. Just remove everything. And let's say I can say git init, or I can do is git clone. I can clone the new branch. And the branch name is branch 1. Okay, now first what I should do is git init, and I can say git branch. And what was the name? branch branch 1, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so git checkout branch 1. If I do git branch minus a, so my default branch is not master now, it is the branch 1. So I will be pulling and pushing the code to branch 1. And do I have any code available? No. So first of all, so I have everything set up, and what I can do is I can pull from the branch git. What was the pull request? I just cloned it. History, pipe corrupt. So I will clone the branch, and the branch will be, or I can just pull it, I guess. All right. Let's see first this. BRANCH branch 1. It will say that the directory is not empty. Probably, yes, I agree. This was the address. So what I can do is git pull -u origin branch branch 1. We are good with our original branch, original code. So these are the basic commands. You can push the code, you can pull the code, you can do by HTTPS. If you want to go through HTTPS, I can show you. I'm just copying the HTTPS command, okay? HTTPS link. So what you will do is you will do git clone. You can tell the branch name, I'm skipping that. And now this is HTTPS. Before it was
Git at GitHub.
Git at GitHub. Yeah, right. So what I want to do is, because this is now the HTTPS version, so what I will do is I will provide my username ZEESHAN 778 pro and the password @github.com, and rest will remain the same. So this will go to HTTPS using this username and this password, and it will clone the repository. Okay.
Okay.
So now, let's say that's it for the Git. We just need Git to pull and push the code right now. So that's what we are doing, and we are moving ahead because we are not working with branches. So I told you how to switch a branch, how to work with branch, and we just want to work with Git with the master branch. We are good because we will be working with Ansible and we will be pulling the code from here, and we can discuss branches some other time. So any confusion in git ignore, git status, git commit, git pull, git push. So these are very few basic commands which we are using as a system administrator, because I don't want to test the code, I don't want to update the code, I don't want to merge the pipelines. So I am only interested right now is I can push the code and pull the code. That's it. So as a system
Zishan,
administrator,
if
yeah.
you can show how to connect the keys, public key and SSH keys,
Okay.
because
Yes.
that's the more important task, I guess, once we set up Git and all.
Okay, so the public key to connect to GitHub.
Yeah, how the process works? Like we have a
Yeah,
machine
it's
here.
very simple. I have a machine which we know we have user and we have a key. This is our key. You remember that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I have when we generate a key, the key name, the key pair is generated with RSA and RSA.pub. So I renamed this pub file with master.id.html so that I know this is the master key, because I am copying it, I am using it other than GitHub, and I am using it on the node 1, node 2, node 3. So what I will do is I will just read this file. Don't take any extra space, just the content of the file. I have copied this, and what I can do is I can go in my settings and I can go to SSH and GPG keys. I will add a new key and I will just paste it here, the same key, and I can say that this is the, okay, you have anyone is running Linux machine now?
I am.
I have mine.
Okay, what you can do is SSH -keygen space -t space RSA. Enter. Okay, enter. Just do it. Enter. So go to cd root. No, /root. cd/root. Or you are already standing in the root. So leave cd.ssh. cd space .ssh. .ssh, yes, ls. More id RSA pub. Okay, you can copy this key and you can send me it in Zoom chat, or you can send me through WhatsApp. And in the meanwhile, what you can do is git yum install git. First do yum install -y git, and then you can copy it. Yum type yum install space install install minus space -y space git. Okay, so let's see. You have sent me in the chat, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the key, Control C and Control V. So we believe that this is the key of J host or JPC, whatever, or JVM. And I will add SSH key of J. Okay, I can confirm that J can access without giving the password. So the key is here, JVM. Okay, what I can do now is I have the repository. Okay, Jay, you can go to your machine and screen share again.
Okay.
And I am sending you in chat. Okay, so what you can do is you can do git space clone -- branch, and you can copy the from the text. I have given you my account. So branch name was master, type master, master, space paste whatever I sent you, the link to my GitHub. No, right click with right click. Just press backspace and right click. Yes, space dot. Press enter. Yes, type Y. Okay, Y yes, complete yes. So now do ls. So this is the code available on my GitHub, right?
Yes.
And to be on safe side, just do more index.php. No PHP. My PHP code is updated. So that's the code available on GitHub, and you have made clone of it. And so that's how now Jay can upload and download the code to my repository, and that's how we can do it. So any confusion about Git, or we can discuss a little about how we will use it in Ansible, or what we can do is we can install Ansible today and we can work it on tomorrow.
We
Yeah,
can install Ansible and work on it tomorrow if that's
Because
okay with
Ansible
everyone
is so
else.
simple to install. The problem is that
Oh, then let's go ahead.
the installation is so easy, so it will not take more than 1 minute. So first, we have EPEL release available. We should have EPEL release available. And let's say yum repo list, and I have EPEL available. So I can go with the installation just like that. Yum.
But I don't have that.
So what you will do is you will do yum install first, EPEL RELEASE. So when you will hit enter, it will install that extra repository, okay?
Okay,
And
got it.
then you will install ansible Ansible, and it will install Ansible just like that. If you do with -y, it will not ask you anything, and it will install Ansible in cd etc Ansible. So I have few extra files, but you will have just default files, and one of the default file is the host file. This is your host file. This is installed by default, and it is saying these are the examples how you can work with your projects. Like I have node 1, 2, 3 available. You remember that. If you don't remember that, I can show you. I have in etc hosts, I have node 1, node 2, and node 3 available with this IP addresses. So this is etc host, which I'm using to resolve the files. And this host file is placed inside the Ansible. So this is separate than that etc host file from which I am resolving the DNS entries. So this is Ansible's host file. So what I have done is I have used short for node 1, 2, 3. What I can do is node 1, node 2, node 3. I can type like that, or what I can do is the IP address of the nodes 192.168.16. I guess 132.133.134. I can do it like that. So I can provide the IP addresses. I can provide the DNS resolvable names. I can do node 1 to 50 if I have 50 nodes available. So instead of writing 50 IPs, I can do 1 to 50 and it will take all of them if they are resolvable through DNS server. Then I can have test server. We can have web server, group. These are called groups, and in that group I can say web 1 to 20 maybe. I have 20 web servers running. I can have another group like data. This is another group. This can have, let's say I have only 2 databases, so I can go with 111.111.111. And this can be the IP address of one database. And let's say this is the IP address of the second database, DATA database. Yeah. So that's how we define groups. Because why we are using Ansible? Because we want to perform the group operations, right?
Yes.
Okay. What else we can do is maybe your servers are running on, or let's say database is very secure and you don't want to connect it to default port 22, you can have port 3022. So you can define custom port here. So don't go by default. If you don't provide anything, SSH port is 22, but you can have 3022, you can have 2222, whatever you want. So I am deleting, or I can have them because I can, but I should do with 3 here because I just have 3 servers. And this one, this machine 192.168.16.143, this is my Ubuntu machine. So node 1, 2, 3 are my CentOS machine, and 192.168.16.143 is my Ubuntu machine. So why I have added a Ubuntu machine in my test server, I will explain it later. So let's see if host 1 is alive. Yang host 1. It was host 1 or node 1? Node 1. Node 1. So node 1 is alive. So node 2 is alive and node 3 is alive. Okay. And we all know that we can SSH into node 1 and so on. So the beauty of Ansible is, why we use Ansible? We did the installation, and Ansible works with modules. Ansible is agentless. We push the configuration from the master to our control nodes, which we need to configure. We don't need to install any plugin. We don't need to do anything on the slave node. We just should know the password, or we can do the authentication through the keys. So the authentication through keys is very secure way. So I have already enabled authentication through the key pair, public-private key pair. So if I want to see that Ansible is installed, if I type all, it will take all the groups and perform an action. But I have added some extra groups which are not available. So if I go with -i, and I will input that host file on which I have defined the groups, -root -module ping. Let's see. Okay. ANSI. So now it will try to ping those hosts, but those hosts are not available. Only node 1, node 2, and node 3 is available. Because triple was is unreachable, this is unreachable. So it has given us the error that all these nodes are not available. Just these three are available. So what I can do is, if I want to perform not on all, so I can say I have a group test server. So now I am using the test server, but this IP is not available because I have not powered on this machine. So if the connection is successful, so it is doing ping and the result is pong, so the connection is good. The green means good. So that's how we can see the connectivity with our machines. And if something is not reachable, not connecting, and there is anything wrong, you can first ping your machines or ping your groups, and then you can start working on it. Okay, one more command, and then I think I will continue tomorrow. Ansible, ansible. Again, the group will be test server, yes, minus I hosts minus M setup. Now I am using the module setup, and what it will do is, it will take some time, and it will pull the environment of all my machines. The IP address, the broadcast address, network mask. Let me see what else. VLAN offloading is done or not done. It's what is the distribution, what is distribution version number, and so much you can get in this command. Ansible virtualization role, guest type is VMware. I am working on VMware hypervisor, and so much stuff. But let's say I want to grab distribution. So it will tell that all these machines are running CentOS 7, CentOS 7, CentOS 7. We can be more specific. We can grab the version also. Why we are doing it? Because in the future, maybe you have a group of 100 servers, and maybe you want on those 100 servers, there may be 5 servers on which you have older PHP version running. So you can grab the PHP version, and you can upgrade the PHP version on those hosts on which PHP is having the old version. So you have a group of 100, but you can go conditional. Okay, you have a group in which you have CentOS machine and you have Ubuntu machine. We all know that the commands are different. So I can have one script, one playbook in which I can give the condition, okay, if the machine is CentOS, then use yum install httpd. If we have group Ubuntu, then we can do apt-get install httpd. So the commands are changed. So either we write different playbooks for different servers, but it is very difficult to, if you have hundreds and thousands of server, it is very difficult to track which IP belongs to CentOS machine, which belongs to Ubuntu, which installed to Debian, which installed to Solaris. So what we do is we grab some parameters and perform the actions as per our requirement, right?
Yeah, got it.
So no confusion in this, right? So we will be
No.
having 100 web servers. Maybe all the web servers may have different base operating systems. So if we want to upgrade one of a kind, so we will go with the conditional, okay, upgrade the distribution if it is CentOS, if it is version 7.9, or if it is Red Hat, so upgrade this. If it is Ubuntu, leave it. So that's like that. Okay.
So we write different playbooks for different scenarios, right?
Yes, but you can write one playbook in which you can say that, okay, take a group of web servers and only apply this operation for CentOS machines. On the same playbook, you can have another play, or you can have a separate play, or you can copy paste everything and just update the stuff that now run this playbook for Ubuntu machines. And then of course you have to modify some parameters according to Ubuntu. So you can have one playbook for CentOS and the other playbook for Ubuntu. but then you have the group of 1,000 servers. You don't have to isolate those categorize those 1,000 servers individually, that which IP is sent to us and which is the Ubuntu. So this is how automation works. Before, it was very difficult. We have to maintain the IP address, the OS name, the version. You have to manually track it. Now Ansible pulls everything out of the machine, and you can use those parameters in your conditions. So that's how life becomes easy. Like if you have maybe 5-10 servers, you don't need to go with Ansible. It's not recommended. I will not recommend that, because managing 5-10 servers is not a difficult task. It is very easy, but you will be overburdening yourself if you are going with Ansible. But if you have a very big environment, which is humanly not possible to maintain it through manual Excel sheets, then you have to go for Ansible. Otherwise, don't go. That's my suggestion. Yeah.
And one more question is, say suppose if we have one condition we defined the playbook and we ran it. Tomorrow, a different condition comes into picture.
So
we
you
just
can
go ahead
use-
and change the same playbook.
and you can change the condition. Yes.
Okay. So we just use we'll have a base playbook and we keep on changing as per the condition, as per the need.
But they always take the backup of it.
Okay.
So that if something is messed up, because YAML is very simple to understand language, but it is very strict about the indentations, like where the space is, where is the colon. What should, like, I can open one play for you. Let's say install _Apache. So it is very strict that the tasks, let's say we are doing some tasks here. So this hyphen sign should be right below this T. If I do space here, let's say insert space, this will not work. This will fail. Okay. One more scenario. The shell should be right below the word N. If it is one space left or right, this will not work. I mean, the whole meaning changes, because we are using module file. If we are saying the path is here, so it means file is a separate module and path is separate module. If I am entering the space, it means file is having these two further attributes. So now it comes under file module. So let's say the Git, these are under Git module, the repo, destination, update version. Let's say if I press, oh come on, I was already insert mode X. If I space here, now this when condition comes in Git. Now Git has no way to understand what is when, because Git has parameter repo, destination, update version, because Git can take some parameters. When is not there as a parameter, so this playbook will crash. So I will take when outside the Git. So this is very strict architecture, but it is very easy to understand if you starts working on it. Maybe 2-3 days is enough to learn the basic YAML language, which is not possible with any other language. It's like, I am quoting. Let's stop it here.